Hi, I'm John Byrne, editor of Poets and Quants.
I'm Sandy Kreisberg, the HBS guru.
And welcome to another edition of Handicapping Your MBA Odds. Today's candidate is a 33-year-old Canadian male. He is a Harvard undergrad with a 3.9 GPA, also an impressive GMAT score of 740. But there's a wrinkle here because he didn't go to Harvard until he was 29 years of age. He's launched two companies.
From a community college.
That's right. He's launched two companies, one of which has been sold to eBay, actually. It was a Groupon competitor. The other company was a loyalty coalition company, is how he describes it, which he sold to a large retailer. Before all that, he worked for 6 years as an advertising executive for a national magazine, presumably in Canada. No less than all that, he has spent for the past 3 years time at a consulting shop working in intellectual property and strategy. His goal, to move into management consulting or to become a venture capitalist. And when I say management consulting, I guess he means a top flight firm. His school targets are Harvard, Wharton, Stanford, Michigan, and Cornell. What do you say, Sandy?
I say this is an interesting guy, and obviously, just by reading this, you go, this is a super smart guy. I don't know what happened that this guy started working for a regional magazine when he graduated high school. I don't know what his Canadian upbringing was.
You know, those guys who sell ad space,
Yeah.
well, at least in the good old days of media,
yes, right.
They made a ton of money. In the last 10 years,
You ought to get in touch.
not
You
so.
ought to get in touch with this guy, John. This is an obviously really smart guy who then somehow transfers from a community college in probably Canada to Harvard College, gets a 3.9 at Harvard College, gets a 740 GMAT, 33 years old. That's the good news. Here's the bad news. This guy is going to be 36 when he graduates business school, and he's going to be looking for an entree-level job at a management consulting company. That's about the age when people start leaving, you start thinking about retiring from McKinsey, Bain, and BCG. So he may have a hard time getting that job, and the schools know it. On the other hand, what this guy has to count on is that an admissions officer reads this profile and says, I don't care what this guy says he wants to do. This is a real smart guy, and he's going to be a plus in our program.
Wouldn't he be better off telling a story that he wants to become an entrepreneur again? He's launched two companies, sold two companies, and now he wants to learn the business basics to really move up the entrepreneurial chain. He's got that DNA in him. Wanting to be a management consultant at that age is going to be tough.
What he should do is make it clear he doesn't want to work for the big three. And what he wrote here is he wanted to be a management consulting in media strategy. What he should say is he wants to either start or work for a boutique media strategy consulting firm. Go look those up on Google. And consulting media strategy, you'd be amazed what comes up. This is a case where Google can help you prepare your application. So many people never think about that.
That's true. Now, Sandy, ordinarily, when someone comes in here and asks about going to a 2-year MBA program and they're in their early 30s, you inevitably say, why don't you think about an EMBA program? You're not mentioning the executive MBA program at all this time. How come?
Because he's not a guy who went to college a long time ago and is a burnt-out middle manager. That's the heartland of executive MBA. This guy actually presents as one of these man-children, we know that type, right? Who is, technically 33, but thinks of himself as 24 and presents that way. That's why.
Now, guess what his extracurriculars are? He's Canadian. That's a clue.
What are they, John?
He plays ice hockey.
Yes.
He volunteer coaches for a AAA hockey team. He was a competitive goalie in both ball hockey and ice hockey. nationally ranked top 5 in ball hockey. I don't really know exactly what ball hockey is. Do you know?
No, and more importantly, neither will the ladies on the admissions committee unless they are themselves Canadian jocks.
But it still sounds impressive to be ranked top 5 in your country on that. He also does pro bono AV work for local charity events.
As I often say, in God's eyes, those are terrific. In the Canadian God's eyes, those are terrific. In the eyes of an admissions officer, that doesn't add up to much. Although, allow me to say, I am impressed.
Okay, odds at Harvard.
He ain't getting into Harvard, 20%. I'm thinking of D. Leopold reading his application and wrinkling her nose.
Okay, Stanford.
Ditto.
Yeah, same odds, maybe even a little bit less.
There's nothing driving him in. You know, the guy, if this guy, let's make the best case. The guy is a real 24-year-old with a 3.9 and a 740. And he's got this cockamamie work experience.
But okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because he is not your cookie cutter MBA candidate. He's created 2 companies. He sold 2 companies. He went to school at 29 years of age. No school in general. Harvard no less, and gets a 3.9. To me, that takes him out of that cookie mold.
Getting a 3.9 at Harvard College is. That's about, I think that's their average grade, is A minus.
Yeah, well, we know about that. But
yeah.
Nonetheless,
3.9 at Princeton is something I'd respect more.
And the other thing about Stanford is he mentions that he might like to be a VC. Now, so
this guy should not say he wants to be a VC. That's
why not?
Just daydreaming.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though he's been an entrepreneur twice?
What it goes to show is how out of it he is. VCs really are prestige. VC firms, when they're hiring youngsters out of business school, really go for the prestige. Let me say, in reality, this guy would make a terrific VC. It's just getting into the game that's going to be hard for him.
Okay, the other schools he mentions, Michigan and Cornell. What about Michigan?
They'll buy the numbers, man. They'll just buy the 3.9, 740, as will Cornell.
They might even throw money at him.
Yeah.
Right. What are the odds, Michigan and Cornell?
Over 50%, yeah.
All right, there you go. You're going somewhere. We don't know where you're going, but you're definitely going
Wharton.
to a really good
Did he
school.
mention Wharton?
Yes, he mentioned Wharton.
Wharton will buy the numbers.
Yeah. So Wharton 30%?
More, like 40 to 50%, maybe 50%.
That's impressive.
Wharton has become very, very big on GPA and GMAT numbers. It's the way they got listed as tied for number 1 in U.S. News.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, the way that happened was that they rigorously said, we're going to go for high numbers, and they did it. And they're going to keep doing it.
All right, good luck to our candidate, and good luck to all of you who are also
good skating
applying.
to our candidate, yes.
Absolutely. Whatever ball hockey is, I'm impressed. Thanks a lot.